Back in June, we held a contest looking for the country's worst looking tent trailer canvas. The prize? A brand new tent canvas from the folks at Canvas Replacements. I must say, we received photos of some really bad looking canvas, but after careful examination, the winners were Patrick and Abby Franklin from DeRidder, Louisiana. Bob Gramps, the owner of Canvas Replacements, called me a week or two later and said, "You know what? I was just talking to Patrick, our contest winner, and found out he's in the military and just served a tour of duty over the Middle East, and I want to do something for him and his wife. Instead of just shipping him a new canvas, let's surprise him, go down there and install it. Besides, I'm sure there are a few other items on his trailer that we could fix for him." So it was. Bob and his son Ben headed south from Wisconsin, and the ROTV crew left from New England and met up in DeRidder, Louisiana. How bad was Patrick's canvas? Well, see for yourself.
Holy cow. It looks even worse than in the pictures. Yeah, I think we picked the right contest winner. Grab it, Ben, let's go. Hope they're home. Hi, Patrick. I'm Bob.
Hi, Bob.
Gramsch, and this is my son, Ben.
Hi, Ben. My wife, Abby.
Hi, Abby. Congratulations, we're here with your canvas.
All right, cool.
It all fits in the little box.
I was expecting something bigger, honestly.
Okay, Moran, it's no doubt you're the right winner for this contest. Definitely have the ugliest camper contest won. Let's get started. We'll get over here. Ben and I will start putting it on for you.
Once the old canvas was removed, Bob checked out the trailer and found out that it needed a little cable repair.
When you're restoring your camper, putting a new canvas on it and getting it all set for a good season of camping, if you have an issue with the lift system, if one corner is not working the way it should, if it's not going up, you need to check it out and see if there's a broken cable in the Coleman is one of the most common issues. You may need to replace a couple of pulleys, but in this camper here, we found that one corner cable was broken. You'll need to use the clamps similar to the original, which can be, you can set them by hand carefully with vice grip pliers or purchase a cable crimper. We have a cable crimper with us today, and Ben's going to be replacing this cable the way it needs to be done. It's not impossible for the homeowner to do it or the camper owner to do it, but it needs to be done right. When you have a broken cable on one corner, you need to help crank it up all the way and put a block in the corner to hold it up. And then Ben's going to take the lift post out to make it easier to put the new cable in.
The first thing Ben had to do was remove all the covers and trim, then remove the screws holding the post in place.
The lift post is also bolted to the frame underneath. Sometimes you can replace the cable without pulling the lift post out. It does make it a lot easier to get at it and to get the cable replaced properly.
Next, Ben replaces the old cables with a new one, then reinstalls the post. Remember, half the work of replacing a new cable is done under the trailer. Once everything is hooked up, you have to adjust the cable so all corners measure the same when the top is up.
Ben's making the final adjustments underneath, fastening the cable to the eye bolt in the Wiffle tree assembly, and then we'll be adjusting the four corner heights, and it's all done, ready to go and ready for the new canvas.
Coming up after the break, Bob chats with Patrick and Abby. Then the new canvas goes on. Welcome back. Now let's catch up with Bob, Patrick, and Abby.
Abby, Patrick, how long have you been camping? What kind of camping you're interested in? How do you think? I mean, what does it do for you? What's neat about camping for you guys?
Growing up, I would go with my parents a lot of times to the Gifford-Pincott National Forest. Growing up in Washington State, and we'd go out there tent camping a lot. It was nice to get away for the weekend, go do some fishing. Now we take my Jeep usually, and we'll go out to to an off-road park, camp for the weekend.
How did you ever find this thing?
I
This
was
contest winner.
this contest winner. It was a real winner. It's a real gem. I was searching for a cheaper pop-up camper, and so one that required some work was something I was willing to do. I like to do lots of little projects, and so I picked up this one on Craigslist. Actually saw it on the Houston Craigslist.
And I took a look at your camper when we first got here. Inside, you've got it pretty well stripped out. What are you planning to do to the inside?
I wanted to get rid of that 70s looking wood paneling that was on the inside. I took out the whole kitchen part right there. I don't want to have any running water. I'm not going to plumb the propane back in. I want something basic on the inside, good for sleeping quarters mostly. And if I want to do cooking, I'll do that on the outside so I don't smell it up on the inside with cooking oil.
Cool.
We're gonna put a chandelier in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What motivated you to enter our contest, and what were your thoughts when you found out that you had won?
I was working staff duty one afternoon on Memorial Day, and I was actually just looking online for preventative roof maintenance to prevent any water leak, and I came across the contest on the Pop-Up Times website, and I figured, you know what? I got a pretty bad canvas. I'm a shoe-in for this one. And when I found out I won, I was like, yeah, I was kind of expecting that, but seeing some of the pictures that you have on the website there, I was thinking somebody might have something worse than me.
Well, in my years of experience at canvas replacements, I have probably seen a few canvases that were worse. But in the contest entries that we had, yours was a shoe-in. And when we got here and took a look at it, Ben and I both agreed definitely we picked the right camper. And just glad to be able to do something for you on that and help you out with it and turn it into your little gem, your little home away from home, whatever you want out of it. Tell me a little bit about your experience in the service. When did you enlist, and how has that changed your life?
I did Army ROTC at University of Michigan, graduated December of 2006. Shortly after that, went to OBC, got first stationed at Fort Lewis, Washington, deployed to Iraq for 18 months, came back, went to the Captain's Career Course at Fort Leonard, Missouri, and came here to Fort Polk 2 years ago.
I really do want to thank you both for entering the contest and being so gracious as the winners. And also, again, Patrick, I want to thank you for your service to your country, to each of us American citizens. We really appreciate it, and we certainly appreciate you, Abby, standing with him, standing behind him, and making all the sacrifices that you had to as he is overseas and protecting our country. We thank you for that. Okay, Ben, let's get going. This is how your new tent will look when it arrives from Camper and Recreation. If you're going to open the box with a knife, please be very careful. We don't like to have to replace screens because you put a knife in it. Okay. Now, on a Coleman, the bed wings are usually packed on top. Separate out the 4 pieces and locate where they go. And then you can press the arrowhead molding into the molding at the roof. There's a molding sewn into the bottom hem that just slides into the track that's on the top of the box. It's a little tricky to get it past the lift post, but once you get it past the lift post, it slides in very easily. One little extra step with the Coleman is put the wire harness in the little zipper wire tube that we have on the right corner for you. So you have a place to plug in your ceiling lights. Need to make sure all the anchor screws are out of the track because they'll get in the way of putting the new one in. Okay, Ben is tucking in the arrowhead molding. It just presses into the track. I like to say works kind of like a large zip lock. It just presses in and locks in place. And it'll give your thumbs a good bit of exercise. It's pretty easy to do. Now when you're spreading the new canvas out and getting it fit it around, make sure you don't drag it across anything sharp. So we don't want to see a snag screen or something. And the little Velcro patch holds it in place. Okay, and we're ready to set the front end up. Now, of course, when you're doing this yourself, which most of our customers do, you want to take the old canvas off a little more slowly, a little more carefully than we did, so that you can see how it's all installed and what the little tricks and intricacies of how the camper manufacturer designed for it to go together. So you remember to slide this piece in there, use that Velcro on that piece, that kind of thing. Because every brand of camper is a little different than every other brand, but they're all fairly simple, and if you just take your time, you can do it yourself. And if you ever run into any problems, you can just give our company a call and we'll walk you through it. Got it, men? Looks good. Now you notice it's a little bit poofy, a little bit slack here. The canvas, when it gets wet, will shrink up a little bit and tighten that up. The fit is very good. And now the camper, as I told Patrick earlier, looks already 1,000% better. And when he's done with his remodeling of the interior, he's going to have a like new camper.